lecture number 4, Coaching to Support Change. The topics that we're going to cover would include active listening, giving developmental feedback, and framework for coaching. Now, we kind of live in a VUCA world, in a volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. A lot of the agile guides talk about an acronym called VUCA, VUKA. In a VUCA environment, an effective change team needs to be adaptive, moving the emphasis on how they deliver their work from a plan focused to feedback focused approach. People are at the heart of change. Coaching can become an important skill set to enable change professionals to facilitate and build capability and new ways of working. There are formal coaching qualifications available in the marketplace, but a change manager is not expected to be an expert coach. At a minimum, it is important to understand coaching principles around active listening, developmental feedback, and a common framework. This enables the change manager to engage in spontaneous coaching conversations. Active listening and its core behaviors. Now, the purpose of active listening is to understand how another person perceives some aspect of the world. In a change situation, this may mean understanding how other people perceive the change and how aware they are of their situation and ability to adjust their behaviors. This includes their understanding of attitudes to and feelings about the change. And its most effective active listening reflects an attitude where a person is prepared to hold their own agenda to understand another person more fully. It can negatively affect relationships if seen as part of a predetermined agenda. Used with integrity, however, it builds insight, trust, and an authentic relationship. So there are a few factors pertaining to active listening. Clearing the decks, inner preparation. Now, this is the inner process of choosing to set aside other current concerns and any personal agenda. Focus is on building genuine understanding of a situation from another person's perspective. Giving attention, body language makes a critical contribution to showing understanding to another person through focused attention. Body language includes posture and gestures, open, receptive, oriented towards the other, and ideally echoing the level of energy displayed by the other person. It also includes eye contact and occasional vocal responses. Another core behavior is reflecting content. The behavior of playing back to the other person what they have just said in their own words is a good behavior of active listening. Paraphrasing is another characteristic. This is like reflecting content but uses the listener's own words. This communicates a higher level of understanding. The other person hears their own meaning captured in the listener's words. However, take care to avoid altering the intention of the other person, or you will lose the opportunity to understand them in their own terms. Reflecting feelings, the act of reflecting to the other person any feelings, emotions, either positive or negative, you observe in what they are saying or how they have said it. Examples would be you sound more and more excited as you describe that meeting, or as you describe that meeting, you sound weary. Be careful not to tell people how they are feeling. Simply describe what you see and hear. Finally, questions are good features of active listening. Question, both open and closed, that remain on the agenda of the other person. These types of questions often begin with so and extend and apply what the speaker has said. So does that mean that you ... are some ways of effectively reiterating what one has learned or what one has listened? Development feedback, guidelines for giving feedback. Now, habits are how individuals operate in the world. and relate to others and are deeply embedded through life's experiences. All personal change involves unlearning old ways of behaving, which is habits, and learning new ones. Reflection is important in the development of people. Organizations are, after all, made up of people. Feedback aimed at developing others is a powerful technique that can be used as part of coaching conversations. This is because good quality feedback seeks to raise awareness and responsibility of the client. Developmental feedback promotes a deeper level of feedback, which encourages the challenge of assumptions and incoming information by the individual. It is through this process that we make a choice to explore alternative action and change our behaviors. Guidelines for giving effective behavioral feedback are provided for us on the slide. Here are some widely accepted guidelines for giving effective development feedback. Helpful intention is a good guideline. True feedback is constructive and given in a way that considers the needs of the person receiving it. Given privately, this allows both affirming and critically observing and without really compromising the dignity of the person who is receiving the feedback is important. Another important feature is descriptive, not evaluative. Judgment of the behavior observed can promote a defensive response. By describing the behavior and its impact, the receiver gains information to base future behavior on. The individual remains responsible for the decision to use the feedback or not. Another important guideline is to be specific. Describing behavior and the reaction in clear and exact terms helps the receiver to identify specific behaviors that lead to an unintended impact. Another guideline is actionable. Feedback focuses on behavior which the receiver can do something about. Frustration is only increased when people are reminded of some shortcoming that is outside of their control. Another guideline is welcome. Feedback is especially valuable when requested. When giving voluntary feedback, ask the receiver for permission. Would you like my feedback on this? Another guideline is timely. Feedback is most useful at the earliest opportunity after the behavior concerned is observed. The situation and feelings are clearest in the receiver's mind. However, the situation gives rise to feedback. Giving rise to feedback has been particularly difficult or distressing. A little distance in time is usually helpful. Another guideline is balanced. It is easier for people to receive and incorporate feedback when the negative, which is critical aspects, do not overwhelm the positive, affirming results. Aim to offer at least as much affirming as critical observation. And final guideline is checked and confirmed. Some people tend to filter out the positive parts of feedback and hear only the critical comments. Others have tendencies in the opposite direction. Ask the receiver to repeat or paraphrase feedback to check they heard it the way you intended them.